Thanks for tuning in to Health Advocates Ask the Expert series, our monthly show about trending topics in healthcare. I'm your host, Courtney Preiser. In today's episode, we welcome back Health Advocates Dan Shields to talk about the uses and value of benefits program reporting. As we transition from one year to the next, now is a great time to take a closer look at reporting and use it to make some decisions for the year ahead. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me again.
So what kinds of information are typically provided in a report about a health or well-being benefits program?
Well, for reporting about health and well-being, you typically focus on two different types of reports. You've got utilization reports,
Sure.
And you've got more of the outcomes-based reports. And utilization is basically who did what and when. Who called, who interacted, who engaged. Did a communication campaign work? Is the program being received? So just, is the program getting activity?
Sure.
Outcome's a little bit harder. Outcome is, what happened to those people? What actually happened after somebody interacted? And there's a couple different ways to look at that. You can base ones based on kind of assumptions, and there you have to be careful and say, are your assumptions reasonable? Are they valid? Kind of will they stand up? Or if you're lucky, you can actually get to actual outcomes where you can track things through things like claims data and biometrics data, things like that, where you can say that those different interactions actually made a change in a behavior or a change in an outcome. So it really, depending upon what type of information you have to analyze, is going to really dictate the type of reports you have to produce.
But it can be a really in-depth snapshot of the performance of the program.
Yeah, for everything from, again, is it working? Are people getting to it? Are people using it? To is it actually having the outcome that you're looking for it to have? And again, depending upon what you're doing, what part of the component of that system you're doing, what information you can access is how detailed you can get in those reports.
Interesting. So what story does this tell employers about their workforce and maybe the value of the programs they have in place?
Well, again, depending upon the level of the reporting, it's, again, is it having the impact that you're going for? I mean, the employers are putting these programs in place for a couple of different reasons. I mean, obviously they want people to be healthier. They want people to be more productive because that affects the bottom line. And as healthcare costs continue to go up, we're also dealing with these programs that are really designed to start bending that curve and reducing costs. So again, are you having that impact? Are you seeing those behavior changes? Are people getting to the programs? Are you seeing the engagement that you're looking for? That's the utilization side. And then to the extent that you can, are those people then changing behaviors? Are they doing what they should be doing? And is it really showing you any value to offer that program to your employees?
Right, is it reducing that cost that you're trying to bring down? Yeah. So how can employers then use this information to make decisions about both current benefits offerings and how they want to move forward in the future?
I think they can use it both short-term and long-term. So when you see, from a utilization standpoint, a spike in utilization around a particular communication you did, or a way that you rolled out the program, or a way that it was received, within the benefit year, you can kind of change how that's put out, or identifying an area where you're getting a lot of calls where there might be an issue. Can we use that to develop communications around addressing that issue to try to, within the year, determine, how do we steer people and where do we want people to go? And then from a longer perspective, year in, year out, again, going back to, is that program working? Do we tweak the program? Do we look at additional programs? Do we look at different programs? So it's both that short-term, kind of tactical day in, day out type of stuff. And then again, at the end of the year, end of the year, are we having the impact we're looking for? Is this program working? And that's really where we can look at the different types of reports.
And it sounds like it can make a really big difference to how they shape these benefits programs and plans for each individual workforce.
Right, and there's so many different types of benefits. I mean, the average employer now has over 7 different, at least 7, and that's on average. Some of our clients, we see upwards of 10, 11, 12 different individual programs that people could access. Depending on what they need. So, that's a lot to manage. It's a lot to deal with. So you really have to be very careful about where you're putting those benefits. And it's everything from the carrier itself that's processing the claims up to these niche vendors that are trying to affect a specific behavior. So to look at the reports and be able to put them in one place and see them as a whole really kind of talks about that overall benefit structure you're trying to put out there.
Makes a lot of sense. So then what is unique about Health Advocates' approach to reporting?
Well, we have a unique opportunity in that we deal with so many different types of clients. And we've been doing it for a while. So if you go back to 2001, 2002, we have everything from some large Fortune 500 companies down to Joe's Garage down the street. So the reporting needs for those different groups are going to be very different. So as we grew up and as we grew different programs, we were able to kind of amend the reporting to go along with that. So for those folks where we have limited information to work on, we still can talk about what is the utilization, what are people calling us about, what's the activity, we can make some of those reasonable assumptions that if you've made some changes, that does have an impact.
Right.
And then up to our larger clients where we have that claims access, and that's a big differentiator for us, is we access claims, we analyze claims, and we can apply the work we do with a member to what actually happened in their experience from a compliance standpoint. Are they improving their health? Are they doing what they should be doing? And ultimately, are they less expensive as well because of that claims impact? So the breadth of the type of services we have really affects the way that we report it, which gives us a lot of different opportunities to show our clients how our programs are working.
And really be able to pinpoint areas of success and areas of improvement and bring all those programs together into one place.
And we offer a lot of different types of programs, so even within those programs, how can we look at incentive structures? How can we tweak what we did last year? Because we see an opportunity in the reporting that there's something we could be doing differently this year. So it's not just overall, is it working, is it not? It's what could be working better.
Right.
So having that breadth of services and that breadth of information gives us a lot more opportunity to kind of get in there and see what's working.
And constantly improve upon what's being done.
That's the goal, yep.
Great. Well, this has been really helpful. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you again for joining us. If you like what you just heard, you can follow us on our social media pages or subscribe to our channel below. And join us again next time for another edition of Ask the Expert.